Hey guys, it's Navadine here. We're just gonna skip the intro that I normally say because I just get bored of routine and I don't want to feel super formal today. But if you are new here, hi, my name is Navadine.
Personality, everything you do, it's me love, everything about you. Your smile, your style, so fly.
So you've already seen the title from the video. Today is my spring fragrance favorites, and I think some people do get quite annoyed with people recommending the same fragrances, and I mean, yeah, a lot of people like the same things. I will start off with one of the cheapest fragrances. During the springtime, I tend to feel really girly, really pretty, and just feminine, and I feel like I gravitate towards my heavily floral fragrances and even a bit musky, though I think a lot of people lean towards musky scents during the winter time. In the spring here in the UK, it's still pretty cold. We're still wearing like our winter jackets in the night. So the first fragrance I'm gonna start off with is Rihanna's Nude. I actually haven't worn this in a while. I had to nick my sister's bottle to show you guys because I finished mine and I didn't repurchase it, but I wanted to include it in this video. I think this scent stands on its own as well. It's still unique in its own way. It's distinct. I mean, a lot of fragrances kind of blend together nowadays and they all smell very similar, but I think Rihanna has always done fragrances right. I'm gonna get to that point as well. But yeah, so this one, I think it's fitting for the spring because, you know, in the summer you're gonna lean to your citrusy scents, but you tend to wear also your tropical fruits in the summertime, and I think this is a good transitional spring summer. Let me just spin a little bit. I think this is nice. It's not overbearing. I find that obviously we're moving towards our lighter scents during the springtime, and I think this is very nice. I like powdery scents, but I like powdery scents with something else to it. It has to be sweet or floral or something. I don't like it to just dry down very powdery. Of course, I had to mention this one because this price point is really good as well. This is Kayali's Utopia Vanilla Cocoa. I don't have the big bottle of this one just yet, but I really like this one. It's feminine as well, it's floral, and it's sweet, and it's coconut. I feel like it's very soft, it's playful. This fragrance doesn't project or anything, like it's not gonna fill up a room, but it smells good. And I feel like if you time it and spray it on at the right time, like say you're getting picked up for your date, if you spray it on like just before you walk to the car, then obviously when you sit down you'll make that first impression getting into the car. But other than that, I don't think like it's something that's going to be a lasting impression like throughout the date or anything, but it is pretty. I don't really wear strong fragrances when it's changing season, especially going out in the daytime. In the daytime when it's more sunny, I feel light, I feel happy, I feel like these sort of fragrances reflect the way I feel. Girly, feminine, you know what I mean. So yeah, I think you should definitely check this out. And also the reason why I recommend this is, of course, you don't have to buy a big bottle. Even though I don't think the big bottles are super pricey. You can get 50 ml for £67, but I never buy Kayali's fragrances anymore on full price because occasionally and very frequently there are 20% discounts on like Cult Beauty, feelunique.com, I think that's it. Oh, and directly from the Huda Beauty website. But obviously we live in the UK, so you're gonna have to pay for shipping, and that might take away the discount that you would have benefited from. So these little ones I think run for about like £20 or £24, something round about that. So if you don't want to commit to a big bottle, you can definitely put your hands on these little ones, and they're classy. I'm all about like bottles in my fragrance collection, and I think that's why I've strayed away from a lot of designer scents, because not only do their scents smell very similar, but the bottle is just not, I don't feel rich and bougie when I wear them. And when I wear my fragrances, I want to feel some sort of difference. It's a cherry on the top of the cake for my outfit. I'm just gonna get the Kayali ones out of the way. The next one is Deja Vu White Flower. I've spoken about this many times before. I didn't really love this scent at first, but it has become a scent that I'm really grateful to have in my collection. I feel like it's an epitome of a lady. It really smells like a classy lady scent, like brunching with the girls. I think this is pretty. It doesn't give me a headache because obviously it's not very strong. I've told you this before, that Kayali's fragrances aren't very strong, but I quite enjoy them because of the experience that I get when I spray them. The mister, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because of my background. Let's just spray it in front of my face. Do you see that? You see how beautiful that mister is? And it just creates a whole experience. I love this scent. I tend to layer this scent a lot because I find that I smell it more when I mix this with something else. But if I wear it on its own, not so much. As I said, within the first 20 to 30 minutes, it's very much a skin scent on me. And as I said, you can also buy the little bottles if you don't want to get the big bottle. It still comes with a sprayer, as I think I showed you. It still has the little nozzle on it as well. So you get the full experience for less. My next fragrance that I'm going to mention is Delina exclusive. And for people that don't know, I was not a fan of the Delina train. I was not, but I have been converted and I will never go back. I think this will forever be a staple. I would love to do like my top 10 fragrances and like fragrances that I will always buy back, but I feel I get bored so easily. I don't think I can hand on heart say, oh, these top 10 will always be my collection. But I do think that this is a strong running for that. I only have about 3 to 4 fragrances out of my whole fragrance collection, which I filmed, by the way, an updated version. I'll link that up here in the cards above, and I will put it down in the description box below. I love the bottle. Remember that I told you I'm a big fan of bottles because that also adds to the experience for me. I love the little tassel. It's so girly. If you watch a lot of fragrance videos, you've seen this bottle many times before. Look at the little diamond at the top there. A lot of people would probably say their spring scent would be the Delina because the Delina is more citrusy and it's gearing towards summer, and obviously you're transitioning into summer. But for me, because it is still cold here, I like how this makes me feel. It has that tinge of like, you know, sourness or what's the word I want to say? Zestiness in there, because it definitely has the DNA of the original underneath here. The muskiness, the powderiness, it's such a girly scent. Like, it smells fluffy. It literally smells fluffy. Like, if they told me that marshmallows was in it, if marshmallows was a perfume, okay, I can't say that because marshmallow has its own scent. I've gotten compliments from this as well, and I think if I was to have a signature scent, this would probably be it. I am a Baccarat and Delina whore. Like, I love both of them. None of them is better than the other for me, in my opinion. I definitely would recommend, out of all my fragrances here, this one and the next one, I would say give it a try. But this, I don't think I've heard anyone ever say that they don't like this fragrance. It definitely be my springtime for the UK. It is a pricey penny, but I did get this on a discount as well. I bought this from oh, where did I buy this from? Oof. I can't remember where I got this from. I'm gonna put the name up on the screen because it's just slipped my mind. And they always do discounts on their fragrances, and I got this for I think £185 instead of £230. If you know the Delina, it has rhubarb in there, and it has lychee, and it has nutmeg, and that one has incense. I wasn't a big fan of that one. I first liked this one over that. They have swapped out that sour note, which would be the rhubarb, and they replaced it with pear in this one. And I just think that this scent smells so nice. It's sweet without being like sappy sweet. It's not syrupy sweet is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it is so nice. It has oud in there. For people that are familiar with oud, you know that it can be very strong. It can be off-putting, but the oud in this is done so well. And it has incense in there as well. And I just think this is such a pretty scent. It has a sex appeal, but like innocently flirty sexy. You know, like the ones that, basically like how I'm looking today. I'm innocent, but I'm really not. She looks a little bit naughty, but I'm not sure. She has this good girl persona, but I feel like she has a little something to her underneath there, underneath that pink dress. Okay, that's going a bit too far. I don't want him thinking about what's underneath my dress. I feel like a lot of ages could get away with this fragrance. Even a 16-year-old could get away with this without smelling as though she's trying to be too provocative. And I just think that this is a really beautiful fragrance to get. And I feel like even if you were a more mature woman, that this would probably make you feel youthful. The next fragrance I can't leave out is my Burberry Her. And that's because this is a fruity scent, but it also still has a little bit of powderiness, still light and airy, and I love this scent. This is a lot of times my date night scent because I feel like a lot of guys would like this, and I have had compliments on different occasions going out on dates with this fragrance. If you've ever smelled something like YSL Mon Paris or Valentina Donna Born in Roma, but Valentina Born in Roma is a little tinge darker to me. I feel as though the bourbon vanilla in that one gives it a bit more edge. Like that would be my nighttime fragrance, this would be my daytime fragrance. Even though I wear this in the night, just to give you an idea, I definitely think that that one is a little bit more sexy. This is not sexy, but this is pretty. Sweet berries and not headache inducing. They have the intense version to this, but it had a note in there that just came off a little bit like insect repellent to me. It was more fruity like when I sprayed it initially, but something in it smells like sweet insect repellent to me. These would be like my signature scents, I feel. I feel like when I don't want to think about what I'm gonna wear, I definitely reach for these, especially when I'm gonna be around a guy. Like when I'm around girls and stuff, I want them to think I smell nice, but I'm not really trying to impress them with my fragrances. I wear stuff that smells a little bossy around them, but with guys, I want to smell subdued and what's that word that women must do? Submit. I want to smell submissive when I'm around a guy. Like I want to play on my feminine energy when I'm around a guy. The next fragrance I'm gonna talk about is Coco Mad. And this might be interesting for some people that I'm mentioning it in my spring fragrances, but I found that this is the only time I've reached for it. I thought it would be a winter fragrance because it's so musky, but I have found that I have not worn it in the winter time. You can see that it doesn't have a dent. It looks like it's barely used because it is. But yeah, I love wearing it now in the springtime. It has a tinge of citrus in there, but obviously not as sharp as the original. And I didn't love the original at first, but now my taste has changed and I like these mature smelling fragrances, or fragrances that are a little sharp or a little different from what I typically would go for. I find that this is definitely a little mature. Like I wouldn't wear this on a date time. I don't think this is sexy at all. And I feel like this is just a fragrance that smells very put together, and it smells like a bun, hair in a bun, going to work. It also smells like if you were going on a lunch business meeting, that you could probably just spritz this up, and it's not overpowering, but it's also not giving off the wrong impression. You're not trying to be alluring to the people that you go out on business meetings with. It just smells fresh and clean. So that's why I like this. The last three fragrances are like oddballs because they're not typically what I've been talking about before, like feminine and flirty, but these are necessary to have different perfumes for this spring because you are always in different situations, right? So I am mentioning Roja Dove 51. I quite like this fragrance. I have not worn this yet, probably once. The only thing that it has linking to the other fragrances I've mentioned is that it has a powderiness to it, which I found all of their fragrances. I actually have a sample kit that I bought from their website. I do have a full review up on the channel if you wanted to see these. Elixir is a really nice one as well. That one is fruity. I don't have that. This one is different because this is not the scent that I would wear out on a date either. This is really light and airy. That's one thing that I can say. All these fragrances fall in that category of being light and airy. Bergamot is in the top of this, and the spray on this is so nice as well. I love this, but this wouldn't be for everyone. That's why I decided to recommend this last, because I know most women tend to lean towards the sweet kind of scents, and this is not really sweet. This is a little sour, but because it's so soft and powdery, it's still very nice. I have two last ones to mention. I had to throw Flora Botanica in there because I found as well that I'm wearing it more in the springtime. I used to wear it when it was raining. I don't think that this fragrance projects much, not really, but I still enjoy it. And I have had a friend wearing it around me because she said that she saw this in my video. So it's nice, but it's not your typical. I also wouldn't necessarily wear this out on a date. It wouldn't be the first one that I reach for because I don't know if they would really love this. It has mint in there, it has some florals in there. It's not fruity, it has cannabis. I don't smell cannabis in there. But I recommended this for the girls that don't want a fruity sweet scent. And because this is different, there's nothing out there that I've smelled that smells exactly like this actually, except this is just a sample of Lucky by Dior. I would say that's a really pretty scent for the spring summertime as well. I just don't have it. Instead of repurchasing the same fragrances, if I ran out of this, I'd probably purchase this scent so I could have that similar vibe but just experience a different fragrance. I quite enjoy this. It's not projecting, as I said, but you definitely get a little scent bubble. Like anyone sitting next to you would definitely smell it, and it does last really long on clothing. I wore it to work the other day and I started at 9, and when I was at home 6:30, I still smelled it on my uniform. So this is really nice. I have a curveball here for you guys. So I don't own this fragrance anymore, but I do have it only because I sold it to my sister. But the reason why I had to mention this is because I have found myself sniffing my sample. And I feel like if it comes back in stock, I'm going to repurchase it. This is Fenty Eau de Parfum by Rihanna. It has become like a guilty pleasure of mine. It does not smell really nice, but I like it. And it's not something that I would reach for on a date, but I would wear this on a daily basis. It smells a little like soap to me. And my sister from the beginning said to me that it smells like carbolic soap. I don't remember what that smells like. But when I went home for the Christmas, I was like, whatever I was showering with there, the soaps that my grandmother has in her bathroom, reminded me of this fragrance. And because I link this fragrance to what home smells like when I'm at my grandmother's house, it smells comforting to me. I find myself going to bed and spraying my sample. So I kept a sample from this before I gave it to my sister, and I actually really wanted the fragrance back and I was willing to purchase it from her again. I wanted to buy it back, but she said no. It is musky, so that ties into the theme of all the fragrances here, and it is airy. It's citrusy, but not too strong. I like it. And the problem with this as well is it doesn't project. It doesn't give me a scent bubble. It's weird. It's really a weird one because you can smell it on yourself. I won't spray it, but the mister on it is so nice. I don't think it gives a scent trail or anything, but I really didn't give it a chance to see what other people thought of it. I did tell you that I wore it the first time to work when I had just bought it, and my colleague complimented me. It's like, oh, what are you wearing? But I did mix it with Jeremy Fragrance's Day Perfume. But saying that, I had worn Jeremy Fragrance's perfume to work before and I never got compliments on it. But the day that I wore it mixed with this one, I got a compliment, and he texted me even after he left work. And I told you that more than one person told me that they liked it. Like they would walk up to me like, oh my gosh, what are you wearing? Even though it has blueberries in there, I've said before that I think these are fresh blueberries, and I don't really get that. After it dries, maybe you get a hint of sweetness coming through, but it's not something that I would say run out and buy if it comes in stock. But I would say that it's different for the girls that don't like their sweet girly perfume. I think maybe it's the whole experience and the love that I have for Rihanna that makes me want it. Like, I know it's a lot of things that are playing on my mind. It's the way it sprays, it's the bottle, and it's the fact that it's Rihanna's fragrance. It definitely doesn't smell young, and I don't see any young person really loving this fragrance. It's not anything that will excite me. A lot of people love it on YouTube. I think they're gaslighting just because it's Rihanna. I don't feel like how they could smell it and be like, oh my gosh, I love it. I feel like you can like it and be like, okay, I can see myself wearing it, but to fall in love and all the excitement that they're creating on it, yeah, don't fall for the hype. But sniff it if you can sniff it, because it might be your type of scent up in your alley. I didn't plan for this video to be so long, but I wanted to mention as well, I have a little sample of, okay, something Peugeot or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. I first heard MJ talk about this a long time ago. I think sometime last year, maybe last year's summer or something, I don't know. And I thought the bottle was pretty and cute, and it has little sparkles in there. I personally would wear this on the warmer spring days. I don't know if I would reach for this as much because it's really light and citrusy, but this is something that I would recommend for other women to smell because it definitely is a pretty feminine scent. This is from the Armani Privé line. So that was it, guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful, and if you did, don't forget to comment down below. I'd like to know what's your signature spring fragrance. What's your favorite? Comment down below, and I hope I see you guys in another video. Bye.